Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from southern New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Sunday, January the 28th, 2024. Welcome. This is a podcast about my knitting adventures and my crocheting and sometimes spinning. Lots of fibery fun. So welcome. This is episode 101. So if you had watched the last one, I had announced a little giveaway. So I have my iPad here, so I will draw that winner. So before I get into that, grab your beverage of choice. I have my coffee, which is like my third coffee of the day. Yeah, it's just one of those days. It's a nice quiet Sunday. In my beautiful New Brunswick mug, which was gifted to me by the lovely Nancy. Hi Nancy. I've been getting a ton of use out of it, so thank you so much again. So I got my coffee with me, so grab your beverage of choice and your knitting and we'll get started. So as always, just in case you're new here, I always put detailed show notes in the description box below. So there's like a little down arrow that you can click and I link you directly to any patterns that I share and any makers that I talk about as well. And you can also find all the places that you can find me. So Instagram, Ravelry. This week I will try to remember to put my email for the giveaway winner as well. So you can find all those details there. So last episode was 100 episodes of the Inspired Knitting Podcast, which is so exciting. And I wanted to celebrate by posting just a little giveaway, and the winner will receive a pattern of their choice. It can be on Ravelry, or if you don't do Ravelry and you do Etsy or Lovecrafts or whatever platform you so choose, just let me know. It could be a knitted pattern, it could be a crocheted pattern, just let me know and I will gift it to you. So I have loaded up on my iPad the random comment generator and I pasted in the link. So let's hit the button and see who it chooses. So it has chose Nancy Morales 2741. Congratulations, Nancy. That is super exciting. So again, description bar below, you can either contact me directly on Ravelry or on Instagram or via my email, it doesn't matter, and I will send you your pattern of choosing. So congratulations, that was fun. So yeah, that was super exciting. So congratulations. Yeah. I wish it could have been more. I was planning to do something a little bit more elaborate, but yeah, I hope that you enjoy your new pattern. So, all right, now that we've got all the all that out of the way, let's get on into the knitting content. This week I do have knitting, I do have crochet, and yeah, that's about it. I didn't do any more spinning. I was so hoping to get back to my spinning wheel. I had good intentions, but it just didn't happen, which is fine. It is totally fine. So yeah, I will get on with that. I will start with what I am wearing. So just one moment. I feel a little rusty today for some reason. I don't know why. So today I have chose my Free Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. It is a asymmetrical shawl and it is by far my most favorite shawl I've ever done. And I'm not certain why. I love asymmetrical shawls, but I think the reason I love it so much is that it has a very long wingspan. So what I mean by that, like the width the wingspan of the shawl is really long, so you get these long dangly bits, and I really love that. I like having a bigger shawl, but I just love the fact that it's not so big coming down, because I'm always sitting, right? So I don't like a shawl that's gonna sit down in my lap. I prefer that it sits more, you know, I don't words today is not working. I'm rusty, but I just like that it sits here, but I like the fact that it has these longer tails because it wraps around a little bit better. And if for some reason we're on the go and I just want to grab the shawl and I can't find the cuff, which has happened, then it will actually like stay on my neck. It's not gonna fall off. So all that to say, it's just one of my favorite shawls ever. I really want to knit another one. I'm just trying, I have a few colors that I'm kind of setting aside. It doesn't have to fade. It can be anything that you wish it to be. I think it would actually look pretty stunning in a solid color, to be quite honest with you. But it's just plain garter, and it just has these little eyelets. Super simple pattern. And the yarn, Barnyard Knits, I believe it was. Pretty sure it was. It was in her succulent mini skein set. So I think there was like 10 10-gram minis, something like that. So I just would knit the color until it was almost done and do a little bit of a fading sequence of my own. I did not follow pattern for that. And I would just use up the color, all the color. It's just so beautiful. And it does have like a little picot edge for the bind off. It is just perfect. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I want to knit another one. So for your fade, Andrea Mowry, she also has Find Your Fade, which is another asymmetrical shawl, except it's like a big shawl. It's a rather big one. I want to do that one too, but I would rather redo this one because I love everything about it. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing. Let's start with what I forgot to show you last episode. So I'm trying to get through my stash. I've talked about it a lot. It is one of my goals this year, just to try to work through. So I was gonna bring my book along, which I can grab it because it's just right here. Or is it? Maybe not. Yes, it is. So I watched the Crazy Sock Lady, Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, and she tried doing this last year and she kind of fell short on it. And to be quite honest, I'm just waiting for myself to fall short on it because I'm not really good at keeping track or journaling, stuff like that. It catches my interest and then it kind of just poof, it's gone. But I would really like to try to stick with this. So what Kay does is she writes down in a book any yarn that she brings in. She writes down how many grams it is rather than the yardage. And when she finishes a project, she puts grams that just went out of her stash. So I have marked down, I have this cute little book that I had gotten as it was in one of the yarn boxes that I got from the Northern Purl a couple years ago. So I've just selected 2 pages and I'm marking down for January the yarn that came into my stash and the yarn that's gone out of my stash. So I'm just writing that down, and then beside I'm just marking down like what the yarn was or what the project was, just so I don't get confused as to what I put in and what I didn't. So I tallied this up 2 days ago. So right now I have 548 grams of yarn that came into my stash, and I had 544 grams out. So that kind of balanced out, and it would be even more now because I finished another project last night and it's another 50 grams. So technically not by much, but I've had more grams go out of my stash this month than I had coming in, which is pretty exciting. And that's kind of why I want to do this, because for a couple of years now, I've really wanted to be more conscious about using my stash. And it's not to say I'm not going to buy yarn, because I will be, but it's just I want to try to use more of my stash rather than seeing a project and then going and buying yarn for it all the time. So I've decided to do that, and I think it's rather fun to keep track. And if I could do that for the whole year, it would be rather interesting to say after a whole year how much yarn I actually knit. That would be pretty exciting. So that's what I'm doing. So I won't do this every episode, but I might update you guys once a month. Some of you might not be interested, some of you might be, but I think it's fun, and maybe it's something that you might want to do as well. We'll see how long that lasts, but I'm pretty excited that, yes, I bought yarn, but it's actually going back out of my stash, so that's exciting. So what I forgot to share with you guys last episode, I knit some dishcloths. So I want, like I said, I'm trying to use up stuff that's in my stash, and I have a good assortment of cotton, which there's like one bin here. We pulled out, me and Kaylee pulled out a bunch yesterday, kind of wanted to see how much I had. So I have another fair size like vacuum seal bag that is still full, but we pulled these ones out. These are ones that we want to work with. So I kind of pulled out kind of the Valentine's colors. You can see I got my Knit Picks bag, which is also a gift from Nancy. So I have that there, and I have my little Valentine gnome. I don't remember which one she is. I don't think there's actually a Valentine's gnome. The gnome is by Imagine Landscapes, Sarah Shira. But I think I just mismatched her together with like several patterns that I already have. So I stole the hat pattern. I didn't steal, but I knit the hat pattern and then the body from one of the gnomes, and I just did it in pinks, like Valentine colors. And I don't know if you can tell, but I just did like a little purple heart. So she's my little Valentine's gnome. So kind of decking out for Valentine's. But yeah, I just pulled out some kind of pinks and that for Valentine's. So we're gonna just knit up some dishcloths and set them aside for market or whatever. But the whole point is I just want to knit them and get it out of my stash. So I just did this one. This is just a basic grandma's favorite dishcloth, which I will link the pattern below. I follow PJ Allen is the designer. There is several. These are free patterns, and you could choose to do it with the little eyelets or without. Usually I do it without for a more cleaner look, but I thought this was cute, so I did that one. And then I did this pretty multicolored one, so these would maybe be a set. I'm not worrying about making these into sets. They're just gonna all go into a basket, and then I'll do whatever with them when the time comes. But these two here were knit with Burnett Handicrafter cotton, and I just followed the pattern as it stated. So you just cast on and you work from one corner, increasing up to as many stitches as you want, and then you decrease back down to the other point. So that's what I did. So I got those two, and then I casted this one on last night. This one I decided just to crochet rather than knit. To be quite honest, I don't mind. I like them both, but I prefer the knitted one. But this one is just slightly bigger. I cast it on or I should say I chained, it's crochet. I chained 32 stitches, and then I just did single crochet back and forth. And then when I was done, I just crocheted around a single crochet border. I think I used the whole skein of this one. I brought the label. This one is also Burnett Handicrafter Cotton. These are 50-gram balls, I think. I don't know. I think they are. It's 42.5 gram ball, 68 yards, and the color is called Cherry Swirl, just in case you're curious. I got all of this cotton mostly in a yarn de-stash, but I'm sure that you could find this at your local Walmart or Michael's. This one might be an older colorway, but just really pretty. It's got the pinks, and that kind of gave me the Valentine vibe. So this one will go in my basket as well. So I will have to put that on my yarn scale and see what that comes out to. I used up the whole thing, except for like a chunk like that, but I don't know if it was a whole ball or not, because like I said, I bought this in a de-stash, so I don't know if it was used prior. Kind of looked like a whole ball, but we'll see. So I did that one. That one, like I said, I didn't follow a pattern. I just cast it on. So yeah, I made some dishcloths. Get some more of those knit up so I can get knit up or crocheted so I can get that out of my stash. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to share with you, I think I shared, yes I did. Another goal of mine for this year is to work on whips, and I am happy to say that I have been doing that. And one of them is my Stitch in Time blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And it is just these mitered square blocks that you border, and then you get this beautiful throw. So it has 9, it's a 9 patch, so you can do scraps, and that's what I am doing. I just grab a bunch of scraps from my my basket, and I just go to town. I kind of have been color coordinating my squares, so this one I'm kind of pulled the greens from. I'm trying to keep it as scrappy as possible. I am OCD, so that sometimes does not happen for me. I get too coordinated and too obsessed with, oh my god, they're not matching. But yeah, I just threw some greens into my bag, and yeah, I think I had these two already knit into the square in the summer, and I hadn't touched it. It was on hold, so I got all these others in, and now I have a completed square. I just have to border it. I didn't border it because I need to lay out all my pieces. I explained this last time. The border, the inside square borders are thinner because the way that you sew it together. So if this was the inside of the blanket per se, your border would be thinner. If this is the outside of the blanket, it would be a little bit thicker. So when you sew it together, you kind of have to lay them out and know which ones are going to go where. So I'm doing my borders as I go, just so I don't have to do all these squares at the end. I think there's 24 in total, so I would get pretty bored of that fast. So I'm doing them as I go. I just need to lay them out and see what I've already done. So these are really fun. I really enjoy these. I highly recommend the pattern Stitch in Time. It will be linked below. And I got my little progress keeper here, my snowy cabin in the woods, which is I mentioned her last time. It's Isabelle Pina Fibers Co. from Quebec. I will link it below if I remember. She has beautiful stuff, so I got that one on there right now. Stitch in Time, Kay Jones. Wonderful way to use up your scraps. So I've got that done. The next things that I'm going to share with you is a beautiful pile of hats. So the last time I podcasted, I mentioned how a good friend of mine had reached out and asked if I would knit some hats, kids' hats, for donation. And I forgot to link it, and I did. So it will be linked in this video, but it's also linked in my last episode as well. So it is for children's hats, and you can knit or crochet them. Danielle is out of Ohio, and the drive is called Hats for Hope. So she has a Facebook group going right now that you can also join, and you can see what everybody's doing, and you can share your progress as well. Danielle, they reached out to Danielle, I think it was last week, and Danielle had donated already 50 to 60 hats already this year, which that's just mind-blowing, guys. That's amazing. And she's already crocheted up another 30. This was as of a couple days ago. I don't go on Facebook too often, but this is like incredible. She is an angel. She is an angel. So yeah, she had reached out and asked if I would like to help, and absolutely, I want to do more charity knitting. So I'm just knitting up children's hats, and I'm doing a mixture, just whatever I feel like doing, so it can be knit, crochet. This one here was a really fun one. I've never done this one before. This is the classic ribbed hat by Purl Soho, which is a free pattern. And it said that if you signed up for their newsletter, you could get a free PDF of the pattern. So that's what I did. And because I like using Knit Companion. And yeah, it's just a simple 1x1 ribbed hat. I use DK weight yarn, and the yarn is, and I was gonna bring the tag, it is Cascade Cherub, I think that's what it's called, DK, and the colorway is baby blue. And I believe that it is a mix of acrylic and nylon, if I can remember. It is super soft, and as you can tell, it is like really drapey. It is lovely. I have several more skeins of this, so I will probably maybe not the same pattern, but I will probably knit up a couple more hats in this colorway for donation, and maybe even save some of this for myself for a hat. I don't know yet, but it's really nice yarn, and it has a really pretty crown decrease there. Super pretty. So I did that one. And then the next one that I did, I just went to Walmart, and I got a value skein. It's Burnett Premium, which is 100% acrylic, and it was in the royal blue colorway. So there's like 300 and some yards per ball, and I just did another crocheted beanie. So this one here, I knit flat, and then I just seam up like I did the last two, and then I just cinch up the top, and it is foldable as well. So yeah, these are pretty fun. I like these. They work out pretty fast. I just, depending on the weight of the yarn, I'm not following a pattern. I'm sure you could find a pattern though. I cast it on something like 30, maybe 34 stitches, and I do a half double crochet in the back loop every row until I get the height of the hat. So it's just a rectangle that you're crocheting, and then you just seam it up and you got yourself a toque. So that's what I did. So I got this one, and then with the same skein of yarn, and I still got some left, which is exciting, I knit this, or I crocheted this one. This one here was supposed to be a kid's hat. I cast it on from the top and did like a traditional crocheted beanie, except that I should have stopped like one or two increases beforehand. So I got an adult large beanie out of this, and I realized it as I started to, after I did the increase rows, it looked like it would be the right size. And then I just kept crocheting and I was like, nope, that's gonna be an adult hat. And I was gonna frog it, and I was like, no, just go with it. So I have an adult hat here. It actually fits me rather well, but I'm going to donate it. Our local, there's a church in Moncton that is actually asking for adult large toques and mittens. They are in desperate need, so I will see if I can get a few more of these knocked out, maybe some mittens as well, and I will send them there. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna rip it out. It's easy to frog crochet and it works up rather quick, but I just went with it. So I got another one. It's just a simple crochet beanie. Lots of free tutorials online, especially video tutorials for all different sizes. So there's that one. The next one that I have to share with you, I am super excited about. This has been on my needles since November the 12th, I believe. Oh my god, you guys. It is my, and I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, I think it's Lyss Toque by Jenny Gillard, who is Honey Bird Studios. You can find her on Instagram, and she did have a podcast here on YouTube. I am behind on my podcasts a little bit, so I'm not sure if she has done one recently, but I really love Jenny. She has the most beautiful cable knitted things. It's just breathtaking. This is her latest pattern, and just look at these cables. Isn't that just amazing? I love it. Again, I forgot a ball band, but I'm not gonna bother. This is Fleece Artist Front Country DK, and it's just in this beautiful teal colorway. I will try to update my Ravelry. I do have a Ravelry page for this project. I put the yarn in, I just didn't put the colorway. So if I can remember, note to self, Bobby, put the colorway name in. But it's just this beautiful teal, and it is so beautiful. The stitch definition is amazing. So I haven't washed or blocked this hat yet. I just literally finished it 2 nights ago. It's a quick knitted hat, actually. You can do a single brim or a double. I kind of did in between that. I honestly thought that I wouldn't have enough yarn to do a double brim, and I kind of regret it because I still have quite a bit of yarn left, so I could have done it, but it's okay. I tried it on yesterday. I was outside for a while. Yeah, why not? And it is a really nice hat. I really love it. It's the cables. I just love cables. And of course, I had to put a faux pom-pom on it because, you know, I am obsessed with my fur pom-poms. It is just the most glorious hat ever. And the yarn is pretty amazing. I don't think I've ever used this yarn before, and I want more of it. This was a gift earlier last year. It came from 3 Bags Full in Moncton, New Brunswick. So it was a special skein, and it needed a special project, and to me, this is a special project. So no, this is not donation. This is selfish knitting. This is totally my hat. So yeah, I just got this pom-pom on. I might change the pom-pom out eventually because when I finished it, it was dark and I didn't realize it. I thought this was green on the ends. It's blue, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. But it's one of the snap pom-poms that just snap back off. So I might find a better pom-pom to put on it. But for now, this is what it's staying as. And I absolutely love it. So link will be down below for this gorgeousness. It only took me that long to knit it. Like I said, it's a 16 row repeat, I believe. You can have a more snug fitted version, or you can have a slouchy. You can do single brim or double. There are some options there. It is DK weight. I think I said that when I said the yarn. It's a very beautiful hat, and it does work up quick. The cables are nothing too complicated. The only reason why it took me so long to do it, just I couldn't concentrate on doing anything but vanilla knitting or ribbing, just something simple. My brain couldn't concentrate. So that's the reason why it took so long. Don't be discouraged by my long time of taking to knit this thing. It was my part, not the patterns. So absolutely love that one. Highly recommend it. And I could see myself knitting another one for sure. So I believe that is it for finished objects. So now we will go on into works in progress. I'm gonna grab some coffee here before it gets cold. Okay, so I have 3 works in progresses to share with you guys. Forgot to pull them off the back of my chair before we started. So I think I'm going to start with this one because I shared it with you guys last time. I casted on a pair of blueberry waffle socks, and not a good podcast for this week because I can't remember who designed them. It's a pretty popular pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I am still on sock 1, unfortunately. I really love the colorway. It is Lichen and Lace in her blackberry pie colorway, which was a not a one of a kind. It was it's a monthly subscription for her sock train, I believe, and once a month she dyes up a new color. I explained this in the last episode, but this was a 2023 colorway, and in December she put all 12 colorways up, and it was your last chance to get them. So I had to snag this one for sure because I just love the colors. It is so me. It is so me. So I had to grab it, and I thought I've been wanting to do the blueberry waffle sock for a while, and I thought with the colorway name it would be perfect, and the color, and I think it is. It's just a very beautiful ribbed texture pattern. It is awesome. Like I said though, I'm still on sock 1 because I got distracted with something else, of course, which I will share next, but still on sock 1. I just did slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. I've already got through my gusset decreases and I'm onto the foot now. I casted on 64 stitches, and then my first row is a knit row, and I decreased down to 56 for the leg. And I also have these cute wine glass stitch markers that I just am obsessed with. Look at that. I think I shared them last time, but yeah, these are also from Isabel as well. I will have her shop linked below, but I just love them. I am a wine drinker. I'm a white wine drinker, but it doesn't matter. They're still wine glasses. So blueberry waffle socks, I will have that listed below, and I'll just pull the yarn out quickly because it is just gorgeousness. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. I love Lichen and Lace, and she is local, which is super, super exciting. So I got that one going, and hopefully I will pick these up a little bit more. I just casted on a new pair of socks, of course, and I have no regrets, but that's why I kind of got distracted with this project and haven't haven't touched it as much. So the new project that I casted on is a pair of kind of Valentine's Day socks. And now I'm thinking I did share these with you guys last episode, because I am fully blaming my Nomi for enabling me to cast these on. She casted on a pair of Valentine's Day socks, and I just couldn't let her do it by herself, because what kind of best friend does that? So I went stash diving, and Angelle is doing more moody colors, which I absolutely love. And I went through mine and I just started to see these reds and these pinks, like partial skeins, mini skeins. So I thought I'll just do a white sock and just stripe in, do my own stripes. I think I did share these. I feel like I'm repeating myself here. So all that to say, I am not following a pattern. I just casted on, again, 64 stitches, and I just did, I think a 20 row cuff, or maybe 24 round cuff, and then I decreased down to 56, and then I'm just striping. So I did, you can find a tutorial if you need a pattern or a tutorial to follow. I got my inspiration for these socks from the Crazy Sock Lady. So she actually has a video tutorial how you can do like this little pop of color, and she also has like free tutorials how to do 9-inch circular knitting for socks, DPNs, and magic loop, which is what I'm doing. So she has all that on her YouTube channel. So if you don't know who she is, go check her out, because she is amazing. I love her. So never done this before because I hate weaving in ends, but I thought it would be super cute. And I just had this small amount of red, and I thought it would be perfect for a pop of color at the top. Another way to get a little scrap out of my stash. So I did that. I did 2x2 ribbing, and then I just started doing some striping. So this one here at the top, and this pretty one here, which actually has a silver sparkle in it, I don't know if my camera will pick that up, are actually ginger snap. I had also found this in a D-stash when I was still in Ontario, and as soon as I saw ginger snap, I just had to. So ginger snap. And this was these two minis. They were 25 grams. And let me see here. It is in the Me Amour set, mini snaps fingering, 94 yards, 25 grams. And it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And then the pink one, they came in a set, but this one here with the stellina is 84% merino and 16% stellina. So there's your deets. Very beautiful set, and I knew that that had to be included in the sock, because just look, this one here is amazing. And then these ones, I cannot tell you what these ones are. I honestly don't know. I just pulled these ones out of my stash, as well as this pop of color. Again, I'm not sure. I just pulled them from my basket. And I chose to do something a little different to make it look a bit fancier. I am doing an Eye of Partridge heel. And yeah, I am working through the decreases now. I think I got 2 left. And something that I am doing, and if you notice, you're like, Bobby, why did you put 2 colors beside each other? I believe Kay did this. Rather than starting back up here with this color here and following, I'm doing the reverse. So I ended with this one, so I'm starting with this one. Just, I don't know, just being different. So I did that, but there's more. I decided that because some of my scraps, like this one right here, there's not a lot of it. So I decided to cast on 2 at a time. So not on the same needle, just on 2 separate magic loop, which is actually great because then I'll have a pair of socks done at the end. So I'm in the exact same spot on this one. It looks untidy here because I haven't weaved my ends in yet. And I am doing the jogless stripes, which there still looks like a jog there, but it's because my first stitch is so untidy. But once I sew that in or weave that in and wash and block them, that should even out. But even if it doesn't, I don't care. But jogless knitting, when you do stripes, it creates, if you just knit, the one stitch kind of jogs up, so it looks uneven and untidy. So there's multiple ways, I believe, that you can stop that from happening. The way that I do it is I start my new color. So I will knit 1 row of, say, the red, and then once I come back to it, I slip the first stitch and then knit around, and then I just keep knitting around. So I always knit 1 row of the new color, and then when I come back around to knit the new color again, I'm just slipping that first stitch. And I've learned that from Tracy, who is Very Pink Knits here on YouTube. She has lots of nice tutorials for knitting, and that's where I learned how to do it. But I think there's several ways. But regardless, I got my Valentine's Day socks, and I'm so happy with the progress I've made on them, which is why I haven't really worked on my blueberry waffles. It's just really fun and exciting to knit stripe socks, whether it is a self-striping sock or like this where you're putting the stripes in yourself. You get through the one color and you just want to get to the next one and do the next one. So it is pretty exciting, and I'm really happy that I'm almost gonna have a full pair of socks here. So that's pretty exciting. And I might actually start doing this again where I knit 2 at a time. So how I do it, I normally, because I did 6 stripes or 6 rows of color, and then I do 3 rows of my plain white. Down here for the heel, when I went to start my heel, I'm carrying my white. So I'm never breaking the white. It always stays in. I only cut, I put this one in. When I'm done knitting that, I cut it. But my white is always staying connected. I never cut that one. So I just carry it. So I knit through the 6 rows of color, and then I make sure that my white is not pulled tightly. It's left a little bit loose, or else it will cause a pucker. And then I just knit my three rows and continue. When I got down here, I did my heel flap in the white. What I did, I finished the red. I knit 2 rows of white. I did my heel, and then I did 3 rows, I believe. There's 5 rows in total, just so there was a bit of separation between the start of the foot. You can do whatever you want. That's just how I chose to do it. So yeah, those are super fun and exciting, and again, a great stash buster. It is getting yarn out of my little scrap basket. I do the Stitch in Time blanket, and I have actually I have 2 other scrappy blankets that are using up minis, but I love knitting socks, and I think knitting scrappy socks is really fun too. You don't have to do the white either. You could just grab a bunch of little scraps and just keep adding them in and not have a color in between. Those are really fun as well. So that's what I'm doing. Super fun. I've really been addicted to that knit as of late. So that's gotten a majority of my time. So like I said, I knit one stripe, a white stripe, and then I go over to the second sock and do that. I did the heel on the first sock and then went over to the second sock and done that. It's great to do that because especially when using scraps, because if you only have a little bit left, you can knit a row or two on one sock, go over to the second sock, knit that in. Just in case you're playing yarn chicken or you're just trying to use up these little scraps, you're not going to knit a whole sock and knit 3 rows, and then when you go to do the second sock, you only have 1 or 2 rows worth of that yarn. So it's great to have the 2 socks going at once if you want to be coordinated that way. So that's what I'm doing, because like I said, I'm OCD, so my stripes have to be even. Okay, I have one more work in progress to share with you. I have a couple other things that are on the go right now. I do have a new cast on, but I didn't bring it to share today because I haven't gotten too much done. So I won't talk about it. I did go through my whips and I pulled out 2 things that I wanted in my circulation, like to start knitting on again. One of them is my pressed flower shawl. So I did get through half of the chart on that one, so that's exciting. Which means that I now have 2 more repeats to go before the border. I believe there is a border. And then I have that shawl done. So that is super exciting. I didn't bring it. It is just like right there. But I just don't feel like there's too much progress on it to share, even though I haven't shared it in a while. But next time, I will bring it next time. The other thing that I had pulled out, but I have showed this, is my Turtle Dove by Espace Tricot. And I had showed it on the podcast so you guys could hold me accountable so I can finish it and wear it while the cold weather is still around. So I was so sure that I was going to have this as a finished object this week. It did not happen, which is fine, but I am happy to report that I only have 1 sleeve left. So I shared this the last time, but I'm just doing, I did like a mock neck on it. It's got the deep raglan, and I think when I shared it last time, I was done the body. The only modification I didn't do my raglan as deep, and I also do a split hem just because it fits me a lot better because I'm always sitting. So I have 1 sleeve on, and as you can see, the sleeves are not that long at all because it is such a deep raglan. It already comes down when you put it on. It already comes down to like here, at least it did on me. So you don't really have that much of a sleeve to knit. So I finished this in 1 afternoon, which is why I was so sure I would have this sweater done, but I never picked it up again because I got distracted with other stuff. But I got 1 sleeve on. I kind of don't follow pattern when it comes to sleeves because I like putting the sweater on, and depending how I want the sweater to be or to fit, I just do my own decreases. So I did, I think, 3 sets of decreases, and then I ended up doing, I chose to do a longer cuff, ribbed cuff, and it is in the twisted rib, which matches the neck and the bottom of the sweater. And yeah, I put it on and it fits like a dream. This the sleeve isn't too bulky at all. It's not too tight. It's just perfect. It's the perfect length. Everything about this sweater I am loving. The only thing I'm not too crazy about is that the neck is a little bit higher than what I like, which is fine. I think I'll be able to live with it. but it is really, really nice. I am knitting this out of Barocco Vintage, which is a worsted weight yarn. It is in the Sage colorway. I love everything about it. So maybe even this afternoon, I will get the stitches picked up. I just have it on some barber cords right now, and I will get the second sleeve done, wash and block it, and I will be able to wear it, and I'm super excited. So do check it out. Turtle Dove 2. There is a original Turtle Dove, and I think the only difference is it's also got the deep raglan, if I remember correctly. But does it have a crew neck? I can't remember. But go check out Espace Tricot on Ravelry. They have all these patterns are free. This is free, which they are size inclusive. I believe I'm doing the 2X size because I don't like anything form-fitting. But yeah, they have lots of different sizes and they fit so well. They also have accessories as well, so go check them out. They're free, beautiful patterns. So that is my Turtle Dove. Hopefully by next podcast it will be finished, and then I can cast on a new sweater, because I am really wanting to cast on a new sweater. So there is that. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. Like I said, I don't think I can grab it. No, I can't. I will knock everything over, but I have worked on my Precious Flowers shawl, and that one's really fun too. It's not color work, it is actually mosaic knitting, which is really fun. So we'll see. I am starting to get projects done. I'm looking up at my shelf here, and I have 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 projects up there, and one of them is a scrappy blanket, which it does count, but it doesn't count. Blankets don't count. Blankets are long-term projects. But yeah, I'm looking up there, and I'm happy to report that my whips are starting to come down a little bit, and hopefully they stay down. I don't want to get too cast on happy. So yeah, that's the knitting and crocheting content. I have no more else to show. That's all I have done. So now I'll just chit chat a little bit, I guess. Grab my coffee. So yeah. What have you guys been up to? Thank you for all your comments, by the way, on the last episode. I didn't comment back on them because I couldn't remember how the comment generator worked. I didn't want it to pick up my comments, but I did read them all. So thank you guys so much. You guys are just incredible. Yeah, you make this all just the best. So thank you. But yeah, what are your knitting goals this year? What have you been working on? Do leave comments below. I do read them, and I love reading them. I'm very much still in sock mode. That's all I really want to knit, but I'm trying to, my knitting mojo has never really left me. It's just my concentration. My anxiety and depression kind of really kicked in when we moved, and I'm not sure why. I'm very happy. I'm at peace again. I've said that so much. I really am at peace. I just don't know why. There's been some life changes, and I don't know. It's just one of those things. My depression just kicked in. I'm also not on my meds yet because I'm in a different province and I have to wait for my health card. So I think that's a huge part of it. So I know my moods have changed a lot. So that's also part of it, but just my concentration, all I want to do is knit plain knitting. So for me, plain knitting usually involves socks. So that's mostly what I've been wanting to work on, but I've been seeing so many beautiful sweaters. Being able to sit down more lately and watch podcasts, I have seen so many new sweaters, and there is one. So I guess this is kind of dream knitting, I suppose. There is one sweater, and I don't know the name of it. If I remember, I will put it across the screen here. But I was watching a New to Me podcast. She's from Arkansas. I want to say no, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to mix them up. She knits the most beautiful garments I have ever seen. A lot of people knit beautiful garments, but her style and aesthetic is very much, it relates to me a lot. Her colors and everything. But she is knitting a sweater. Again, it's kind of got a mock neck on it, which I don't really like, but I love the look of it. The pattern is by the same designer that does the ranunculus, I can tell you that much. But it's got this beautiful cabled yoke on it, and then the rest of the body and the sleeves are plain knit. And I believe that it is knit up in kind of the same kind of gauge as the ranunculus, so it's knit on bigger, a bigger needle for a looser gauge. It is such a beautiful sweater. She is doing a white yarn that I believe, like a white tweed, I believe, and it's just stunning. I absolutely love it. So I have a yarn. I have these two great big balls of yarn. It is acrylic though, which is kind of making me not so sure, but it is white, bobby and white, not a good mix, but it is a tweed. And so if I spilt my coffee on it, it's just the tweed, right? But I do have that yarn, and I have these two big balls of it, and I was originally going to do a cabled sweater with it because Andrea Mowry had come out with a cabled sweater like 2 years ago, and I was going to do that one. Never have. But I saw this one and I really want it. So I don't know if I'm going to use the white yarn to do it, or I could pick a different yarn, but that one is definitely on my radar. I believe it is a worsted weight yarn that you would use. So that one is definitely on my radar. I have a few on my radar right now, so I don't know which one will get love first, but that is a new one that I discovered, and I was like, oh my God, I have to have it because I love cables. So there's a little bit of dream knitting. But yeah, reading. I finished the second Harry Potter book. Can't remember if I shared that with you guys or not. I haven't started the third yet. I am reading those through Kindle Unlimited. I haven't started the third one yet. I mostly read at nighttime when I go to bed. Because I've kind of gotten back into that mindset that I can't read and knit. So many people say they do, and I can't do it. I can't concentrate. So I kind of got into that mindset that I don't want to waste my free time through the day to read when I could be knitting. So I've kind of gotten back into that mindset. So I just read at nighttime when I go to bed. But at least the last 2 weeks anyways, I can't do that. I go to bed, I maybe play my game a little bit, and I am out. So I haven't been doing much reading at all. But last night, for the past 2 nights, I actually have been reading my Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is part of the Hunger Games series. So I finally am getting back into reading that one. That is a physical book. So I actually got through a couple chapters in that, which is awesome. I'm at the halfway point now because I want to know what happens. So yeah, I have been doing a little bit of reading again. Would like to do more. I haven't set any goals for reading this year. I was going to set one up on Goodreads. I I was thinking maybe do 12 books for the year. I'm gonna start small. That would be like a book a month. So I actually haven't gone onto the app and set that goal, but I'm thinking maybe I will do that. Just if that's all I was to read this year, that would be an improvement, because I was a huge reader and then I started to knit and crochet, and no regrets obviously, but it's nice just to sit down and unwind with a book. And I would like to get back into that a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I have been reading. Nothing too interesting, because I've been talking about Ballard, Songbirds, and Snakes for at least 2 months now. I read the whole Hunger Games series, and then when this book came out, I purchased it and got distracted with Harry Potter, which is all good. Okay guys, I'm just rambling on at this point. So I think I will let you guys go until next time, which will be in 2 weeks. As always, I put show notes down below, and Nancy, congratulations. Reach out to me on any of the platforms. I will try to remember to put my email address below as well if you'd like to reach out to me there, and let me know which pattern you'd like, and I will send it off to you. So thank you guys again for all your wonderful comments and your support, and thank you for watching. So until next time, have a good one. Happy knitting. Bye.